Love, light, and peace. All right. I think we're all set. Love, light, and peace, family. I am so excited to be back in front of you all again with another episode of Post Poetry. Look at me. On behalf of Post Poetry Magazine, Poetry Unraveled is the name of the podcast. If you are new here, welcome. Grab you something to drink, get comfortable. If you are returning, hey, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Today is the third week. I think it's the third week in January. And if you've been keeping up with the episodes, then you know that I did not record last week. Last week I wasn't in the best space to be able to record. There's a lot of things taking place. All good things, all for growing, learning, elevation. And so I'm grateful for it all. However, wanted to make sure that I was able to give you all the best energy. I am refueled, I am rested, I am back at it, and hopefully my signal will behave today because willfully it behaves today. Let's see, because it looks like it's cutting up a little bit now, but I got all of the bars. I don't understand why. Looks like maybe the vocals will still be intact, so we're gonna keep going. What I want to right. So I have not done an episode. No, so this must be the second week because I don't recall doing an episode since the new year. So I want to say Happy New Year to all those that celebrate the Gregorian calendar of New Year, and to all of those that are anticipating spring as the marker for our new year. I'll see y'all in spring. And I am excited because there are several ideas that have been coming to my mind that I want to present and to see what feedback comes back from it. One idea is that I've been asked a few times, how is my 2025 going? And I've said great every time. And when I ask it in return, the responses are not as high vibrational, right? And I should share a few of my thoughts on that idea. So I am. So for the last, I want to say 3 years, every time the Gregorian New Year would begin, I would be really excited, right? It's like I could tap into the energies of the next year. And they all felt very positive, very high vibrational, very expansive, right? And each year I would look forward to the next year. So I would be setting the tone of my new year with an energy of me being excited for the new year. This year is no exception, right? There's no exception this year. However, I've noticed that it's important for us to be conscious of the thoughts and the energy that we're directing during that particular time. And I want to say specifically that particular time because so much of the collective thought thinking energy is in alignment with that idea, right? So there's an energetic impact that naturally is experienced because there's so many people thinking or directing thought in the same direction, which is Happy New Year, right? However, it's not enough to just say the words Happy New Year. Like there has to be a thought process that has been gone through to create a image or a picture, a vision of what you want this Happy New Year to look like. And in turn, you start to have a physical experience, right? Like you start to get happy, you smile, you might even laugh to yourself, you might even shed a tear or something, because of your ability to see this happiness in this new year. So all of those elements together, they create a powerful force of you being able to project your will, right? To project your energy, your power towards the co-creation that's taking place, right? So whatever is already in alignment for you, you're going to receive. However, you're getting to add your wish list, for a lack of a better expression. You get to add your desires, your will, your wants, right? And be it it's in alignment with what is for you, then you'll eventually experience that, right? So I was thinking that perhaps people are not really meaning or understanding what they're saying when they're saying Happy New Year. Because for us to be 2 weeks in and it not be anything other than great, or at least on the higher end of it, right? Like it costs a little concern. And I'm not oblivious to, everyday situations that come up that may take place for us as being humans here on earth, or adulting at this time, right? And then there are a lot of other things taking place, outside of that scope, that are having an impact and an effect, right? And that's all understandable, right? However, the parts that we can control, right? The parts that we are able to daily shape and mold would be better served having that energy being directed towards it versus all those other ideas, right? Because if it's a situation and you can't change it, however, you're giving it your energy, then in essence, your energy is being um, unwisely used. I'll say it that way, unwisely used. When you could direct your energy towards things that are malleable, right? They're capable of being shaped and molded into a future that you want to experience, that you want to live, that you deserve to experience and live, for that matter. So that was the thought that came to my mind concerning that idea. And I will that you know everyone receives this in the spirit in which I'm sharing it. By all means, again, I acknowledge all that is taking place. There is multiple things that have taken place since this new year. However, we also have the power to shape and mold the reality that we exist in every day, right? So, and in us doing that, it also affects and benefits the collective, because if we're, again, in one of my previous episodes, I spoke about the idea of everything being energy. So if we are, I hope you all can hear me clearly because I sound a little far away to myself. Um, I When I'm exuding positive energy throughout my day, because energy cannot be seen, right? It's limitless, so it travels and it goes in places and spaces that we couldn't even imagine, right? And when we interact with each other, we either benefit from the energy or we're affected by the energy. So if that's a truth, right? Or since that is a truth, when we exude positive energy, then we are influencing the energetic field around us and the energetic field of those that we interact with. So we're actually doing a service to the collective consciousness when we choose in our own lives to take control and to operate from a positive perspective, a optimistic frequency, a love and light frequency, right? And again, I'm not to ignore anything else. However, that's a proven fact. So if we can do that while those that have to experience that at this time, we're actually offering them strength, right? We're doing what we can do to assist and support them while they go through this season on their journey. So willfully that is received. And if you have any thoughts about that, by all means, feel free to leave it below. Another idea that I have been thinking on that I wanted to present is the value of authenticity, right? There's so many different expressions that can be said to encourage people to be true to themselves, right? To honor what it is that you feel, what it is that you think, what it is that is important to you, right? Without taking on any guilt or shame or lower vibrations because of what someone else will think, say, feel, or how they may even treat you. So I want to express it from the perspective of authenticity, right? And the value and power of operating in your authenticity, not only on your own individual path, however, again, on the journey that affects the universal consciousness, right? It affects the collective consciousness. And because it is that we are all different expressions of the Most High, of Source, of Spirit, of God, however you address the energy, the being that we know, or we all, in some form or fashion, acknowledge as the author of all of this, right? So whatever resonates with you, interject that. I'm gonna say what resonates with me, but you interject what resonates with you because this is a universal idea, right? So it's for all of us, okay? So if in us recognizing that we are a fraction, we are a physical representation, we are a embodiment of spirit in a physical body in this 3D realm, then we start to understand that there's something unique about me, right? Because there's only one fraction of source like me, right? Because we're taught we're all different and we know that. We look at each other, we think different. I mean, the list is long, but we know we're all different, right? Even if you want to say we all bleed the same blood, right? Just for the simple fact there's different blood types, that alone lets you know that we're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to really get into the particulars because I feel like this should be understood to the degree that I'm expressing it. However, we're all unique individuals. And that means that nobody else can be me and nobody else can be you. So the purpose as to why we came, the jewel, the key lies in our authenticity. So if you ever want to figure out why you came here, what's the purpose, you're saying prayers and you're asking questions, Lord, why me? God, why me? You know, when you start to explore the essence of who you are, the authentic version of you that doesn't care what anybody else thinks or feels or believes about you, that trust in the light that you are, that trust in the divine connection that you have to source, to the Most High, then that's where you unlock all of your powers, right? This is why being authentic and being true to yourself is so important, because it reconnects you not only to your heart, because you start to remember your childhood memories, the things that you wanted to do before the world beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Before you started to accept the thought patterns of the ones that was developing you, before you got to see that everybody in the world is not nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is not of a high vibration. Everybody does not mean you well, right? There's a lot of disconnect in the world from our heart space. However, when you start with being authentic or start the path of authenticity, you naturally reconnect with your heart, because you got to go back to your roots. You got to go back to the beginning, because this is a process of healing. And in order to heal, you got to recognize and acknowledge what took place to even cause you to be the way that you are, or were, for that matter. So when you being reconnected to your heart, the next natural progression is that you get connected to the Most High, because now you remember, you remember who you are. You remember that you're a fraction of the divine source. So then you get reconnected to source in the special relationship that you have with source. You know how the Christians say a personal relationship with God or with Jesus, or maybe one and the same, how they express it. That's a true statement, that we have a relationship with source. We have to have a relationship with source because we're a part of source. And even say we're the children of source, whatever resonates with you. And the child that comes from you, whether masculine or feminine, that child is always going to have a direct connection to you. Always. Whether they never speak to you again, whether you never see them again, they're always going to have a direct connection to you. So that same principle, you know what I'm saying, in the unseen with the most high. So this is all part of the process to get us to wake up, to be who we are, to do what we came here to do. This is what I've experienced on my journey, and this is what I'm imparting to those that my energy resonates with you. If my energy resonates with you, then it's my will to give you all of the tools that I utilize to get me to where I'm at on my journey and where I see myself going. And that's not to say you got to do it the way I did it. You ain't got to say it the way I said it. You don't got to live it the way I lived it. However, I want you to know that these tools do work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm living proof that they work. And it's not because I'm just somebody special. It's because I forged forward first and I went through the lessons and I learned how to navigate it to be able to come out on the other side and say, hey, this is what I did to get through that. Yeah, I've been through that too. And I used to feel like that too, or I used to think like that too. However, on this side, it's so much better. And these are the steps that I took to get to that side. And you could test it out and see if it works with you. First, see if it resonates. You know what I'm saying? If it resonates with you, then, think about it, try it the way that is being presented. If it don't work, alter it. You know how they say, cut off the fat. You know what I'm saying? So that's my ultimate goal. In its basic expression, right? However, it's most powerful and potent expression too, because the more people that explore thoughts like this and have the desire and the want to reconnect to their heart and live from their heart space and embody love and radiate love, right? Despite the things that have taken place to them, it causes a powerful frequency that raises the vibration, that invites circumstances and realities that we may not have been able to think of because of being tied up in those lower frequencies. And it benefits everybody, right? It benefits all of us. It's not just a personal thing. And the more of us do it, the more we'll be able to see the energetic wave that it creates in the physical, right? If there's only a few of us that do it, then the physical reaction to it of it bearing witness is may not be as big, and I'm not gonna put no limit on it because we talking about source here, right? However, of us as individuals, we may not be able to bear witness to how big it is. However, the more of us do it, the more we'll be able to bear witness to it in the physical, because we'll see it right in our immediate circle, right, in our circumference, in our area. However, I think there's a lot of things that's taking place on the planet right now that is creating a energetic shift. I don't know how many people that listen or tune into me pay attention to astrology, right? With the different, excuse me, with the different energetic portals that open up, and the different energies from the alignments of the planets, right? Because again, everything is energy. We ain't talking about nothing magic. We're not talking about nothing spooky. We're talking about scientific things that can be proven. And then when your third eye is open, or at least you're curious, then you're able to tap into the greater dimensions that are associated with the frequencies, with the divine orchestration of everything, right? However, just from the basic level of it, these planets moving around, they produce energies that's directed throughout the solar system. And when you understand what those frequencies are, then you get to tap into them consciously. Like, they're going to affect you regardless. Like, energy is energy, right? So you're going to be impacted on some degree, some level, right? It could be the most minutest one, or it could be the most grandest one. However, to one degree, from one point to the other, somewhere on that spectrum, you're going to be affected. However, we have so much power when we can consciously tap into the energy and like call that energy in, and consciously be aware of how that energy is affecting other people, so that we don't get all up in arms or tied up in situations that, had we had the knowledge and awareness of, we could avoid, right? Or we could navigate accordingly. And the thought just came to my mind, the statement that my people lose their life for the lack of knowledge, right? And I'm gonna say people from the standpoint of high vibrational beings, right? The ones of us that have the potential, right? We have to have a level of knowing and understanding what's available to us. Everything's not going to resonate with everybody, right? Everybody's not going to resonate with astrology. Everybody's not going to resonate with crystals or tarot or um, any other, divination or divine channel that one may be able to tap into from the myriad of gifts that we have, right? However, whatever does resonate with you, lean into that. Lean into that to strengthen your connection to source, strengthen your connection to yourself, right? To the inner knowing that you have, the inner feelings that you have, your inner child. I don't know what your path is, right? We're all here differently. However, I would like to think that if I resonate with you, then it love is somewhere in there, right? Love is somewhere in your DNA, in your makeup, in your expression, in your design, in your plan, in your purpose, and if that resonates with you, welcome, because it's been quite some time that I've awaited to be connected to my people, to my tribe. So I appreciate you taking time out to listen to this podcast and for me to share the thoughts and downloads that I have to share with you all at this time. Poetry has been a very key um, for me, a very key um, moment of expression or my mind. I'm one moment, y'all. One moment. I am grateful. I'm very grateful um, to be in this space and to share space with you. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your energy and all that you're doing on your path to get through and to learn the lessons. Because I know it's not easy. And sometimes we feel like we're at it all by ourselves. And I want to affirm that you are never by yourself. We are never alone. Whomever you believe in, that you trust in, they are always with you. Whether it be the angels, your spirit team, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones, your spirit pet, your whoever, whoever resonates with you, you are never alone. And I know sometimes uh, um, it feels heavy because there isn't anybody in the physical, right? So I will that whenever someone comes across one of my videos, whether it be of this podcast or me sharing my poems or me sharing my thoughts or whatever it is that you recognize and you experience at your core, that you have come across someone who has traversed the tumultuous journey similar to or the same as you, and that you can see a light because I'm reflecting to you what's in you, right? There's a beautiful light in you that deserves to be seen, most importantly by you, to see who you really came here to be, not who you had to be to get through the classes that you needed to get through, right? For you to learn what you needed to learn, to release what you needed to release, to tap into, to tune into what was always available to you. And if you can see that, if you can experience that, then I have successfully done what I was supposed to do. And some people tell me that listening to me speak, it feels like a warm hug. And that brings so much joy to my heart because I want you to feel nurtured. I want you to feel loved. I want you to feel held and cared about and cared for and seen, most importantly. So if my words, my energy, my presence, my expression causes you to feel that, then I want you to lean into that and really, really embrace that, really sit in that and feel that, because that is me being the vessel of the Most High in the expression that I am. So feel that love from the Most High, from Spirit. Feel that love from your ancestors, from your spirit guides, from your spirit team, whoever it is. Feel that love and allow that to be the fuel that you need to get through whatever stage you are on your journey. And I want you to know and trust and believe that it gets better. It gets better. Whatever you're experiencing right now, the more you lean into it, the more steps you take, the more trust that you have, the more faith that you have, the more knowing that you develop, the more practices that you are consistent in, right? The more love that you give to yourself first and then exude it to others, the better and greater your reality will become, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. I didn't even expect all of that. However, I'm free, and it's time for me to be the expression of who I am. And if y'all gonna tune in, y'all need to know who I am and what my motivation and my passion and my drive and the base that I'm operating from and why I'm even doing this. So again, I welcome you. I thank you for coming. I thank you for sharing your energy, right? And as always, I want to share a poem, and I'm gonna see which one stands out. I really like to stick to the time because I be understanding. Sometimes people be fitting it in. So okay, I know which one I'm gonna do, but I hit the wrong button by mistake. Oh, wait, no, maybe that's the one I should do. Okay, yeah, I'll do this one then. Okay, this one is called Rise Visionary Soul. I am not the same. Stronger, wiser, softer. I have grown on so many levels because I embraced the darkness. I sat in it, grieving, processing, and releasing with understanding, honoring the path that brought me here. I am clearer now on my purpose. And when divine union comes, even more will become crystal. But until then, I pursue joy. I do what makes my heart sing, a pure expression from the core of my being. I surrender to the divine plan, my intuition in tune with source, where genuine happiness blossoms, not for trinkets, but for a life that pulses with passion and purpose. But why then? Do so many struggle to find that joy? Why do they fall into despair, unable to find meaning, grasping for something they can't hold? What is the missing thread, the spark that keeps them alive? How do we navigate this world when it feels like the light has dimmed? I wonder, who will teach these visionary souls how to shine their light when they are surrounded by darkness, where hope feels distant and the weight of the world is heavy on their shoulders? Who will show them the way? How can we guide them so they do not lose sight of their power, their truth, their connection to source? Sometimes light shines brightest when amplified in the shadows. Most don't know this truth, where we must learn to find our strength, to rise above the noise, and to illuminate the way for those who are lost in the haze. Perhaps it is us, those who have learned to sit with darkness, who have emerged stronger, wiser, softer, who are called to show others that light is not just found in the bright moments, but in the quiet resilience, the unwavering trust in the divine. We are the beacons, the ones who remind others that the shadows are not to be feared, but embraced, for they are the very place where our light grows. Poem. Thank you all. Till the next time. Love, light, and peace.